In this video, we will see how we can convert a while loop into a for loop. So the first thing, let's look at this example of a while loop. I have an integer defined here called value. It was assigned the value 0. I have another integer called last, and the initial value was assigned as 10. And while my value is less than last, I'm going to print that value. After I'm done printing it, I'm incrementing the value. I'm checking again. As long as the value is less than the last, I will keep printing the value until we reach the value is not less than the last. So when the value is becoming 10, we are not printing that value anymore. So let's run this and see what is the output. You will see we are printing the number from 0 to 9. We are not printing 10 because 10 is actually equal to the last, which is not what we have here. If we added the equality sign in here and we run it, that will print from 0 to 10. So the first thing we need to do when we convert a while loop to a for loop is to actually find the loop variable. Remember, in the for loop, the loop variable, it's the value we initialize, and then we increment after each loop execution or loop iteration. We also have the condition in between these two lines in our for. So if we write our for loop, we have 3 statements separated with semicolons. The first one is to initialize the loop variable. The second one is to check the condition. And the third one is to update the loop variable. So let's check our while loop condition. We are checking if the value is less than the last. So one of these two will be our loop variable. Remember, the loop variable will be the one we are updating. So in this loop, we are actually updating the value variable. So I can assume safely that this is my loop variable. So I can create integer value and assign it the initial value, which was 0 in here. Now I do not need this anymore. I can comment it. And this is what I have here. Notice my value here will be redlined, underlined, because we do not have it defined. So let's actually comment that whole block. So I'm going to comment the whole block in here, so we do not have a problem there. So we have the initial value or the integer value, which is initialized to the value 0. Then we will have the condition. The condition will be the same. While my value is less than last, it will be printed. So while my value is less than last, it will be printed. And this is the loop update variable or loop update statement. So value plus plus. So we're updating the value. So we started with value equals 0. While this value is less than last, the value plus plus. So the last, we are also using it the same. So actually I'm going to copy it here or cut it and paste it in here. So we started with the last equal to 10, and notice I placed the last variable before the for loop because we initialize it before the for loop. We are checking the value. If it's less than the last, we will be executing what's in the loop. So what will be in the loop? We actually have one statement now. We do not need to update the value variable inside our for loop. We only need to print that system.out.println, and we are printing the value. So I'm going to copy it and paste it in here. Notice, because I only have one statement in this for loop, I did not need to use curly braces because it's only executing one statement. So let's try and print it and run it. Actually, you will see it's printing the same thing from 0 up to 9. We are starting with value from 0 and then up to 10, not including 10 because we do not have the equality sign. And then we are incrementing the value by 1 every time we are done executing the loop body.